Hello students, welcome again to this class of operations management. Okay, so in last class we have been studying about the data, right? We have seen what is constant data and what is data with the trend. We came across these two concepts. So now let's see an example that what is constant data and what is the data with trend. Okay, yeah. So here on the left hand side I have constant data, okay, or static data, and here I have data with increasing trend. Now how we can see that? We can see here, see we have 24, 21, 26, 19, 27, 18. So you can see here there is no particular trend in the data. The data is very randomized. Okay, we can't see any trend. We can't see that the data is increasing or the data is decreasing in a certain fashion. So this is a static data, right? So the analysis, the way that we do the analysis of such a data is completely different from the data with the trend. Okay, so this is a trending data. Okay, data that has a certain trend. This data is in increasing trend. You can see we have 24, 27, 31, 39, 41. So I can say that the data is increasing in this direction, right? Data is increasing in this direction. So I have a trend in this data. So such sort of data is analyzed using regression. Okay, we have seen that we will study how to get the line of best fit. Okay, line of best fit basically gives us the linear line, or it may be if we are doing the non-linear analysis, we might also get certain curves. Okay, maybe quadratic curve, polynomial curve that will tell us that how our data is moving in a certain trend. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is what it's written here. Hence, constant data always moves around particular constant value, which must be calculated to have a correct forecasting. Okay. So now we are saying that, now let's say first of all, now we will start studying about the constant data, static data. Okay. From now on, what we are studying about the constant data. Okay. Now keep this in mind that this is our main topic from this class. Okay. This is our main topic. Okay, constant data analysis. Now what it's saying, that for constant data analysis value of constant must be known. Okay, that if we are doing the constant analysis we must know what that constant is to do the correct analysis. Okay, so what it's saying f is equal to c plus epsilon. Okay, so here what is f is value forecasting. Okay, the value that I want to predict, that will be equal to that constant that I am talking about plus error, noise or variation. Now what it means, now let's say I was having this data. Okay, now I will say this is my first record, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then sixth. Okay, so first of all I need to find that constant. Okay, so that constant is the, let's say first of all we assume the average. Okay, so that constant will be sum of all these number divided by 6. Okay, that will be the constant. Now if I say just predict that constant came out to be, let's say 21. Okay, now I predict the value, let's I predict some value. Now the actual now if I am calculated that constant to be 21, then I will say that the next value could be 21. That is my forecasted value. Why? Because if the actual value could be less, could be more, but it will revolve around this. Okay, if has anybody asked me that yeah, this was the price of a certain thing. Okay, earlier it was 24, it was 21, 26, 19, 27, 18. Then what could be the price? I will say it will be around 21 only. Why? Because I calculated the average. I know it will be somewhat less or somewhat more, but it will be around this number. Now let's say the actual price is, it came out to be 23. Okay, actual price came out to be 23. So what is the error? What is the error? 23 is the forecasted value. Okay, 23, and my average value, my constant value is 21 plus average value epsilon. Okay, epsilon. So then epsilon will be equal to 23 minus 21, which will be equal to 2. Okay, do not stress it too much, you will get it soon. So then value of C can be obtained using any of the techniques required to find out average. Okay. So now I have just shown you one method to calculate the value of constant. That was the simple average that we have just done. There are some other methods also. We will see in further classes what are some other methods to calculate this constant. So what it's saying that this value of C can be obtained using any of the techniques required to find out average. So first one is simple average. Now this is the first method that I am using to calculate that constant value. Okay. So let's say I have demand of y1, y2, y3 and y4 that are known to me. These are the known demand, the past data that we have already collected. Okay. Like the data that we had here, 24, 21. So similarly, I'm assuming here I have y1, y2, y3, y4 data with me. Then what's the simple average? Simple average will be y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 by 4. Or I can write it in this way. Y1, sigma y1 from I is equal to 1 to 4 divided by 4. This is equal to simple average. This is how we calculate the simple average. Okay, fine. Let's move further. Now every item in the data is considered and is given equal weightage. Yeah. So now while we are taking the simple average, what we have actually done, we are giving equal weightage to each element. Okay. So now there could be, so this is not always the case. Now let's say I am talking about the price of gold. Okay. So the gold prices have recently fluctuated too much. Why? Because of the COVID situation. Okay. Because of the COVID situation, the gold prices have risen too much. So now I know that the trends are mostly getting affected by the recent time. Okay. So it is not a very good judgment from my side if I am giving the equal weightage to the data of the 2020 and 2021 and the same weightage I am giving to the data for the 2018 and 2019. Right. Obviously, I will like to give more weightage to the recent data. I will say that, yeah, I will like to give more weightage to the data about 2020 and 2021, what's happening in these 2 years rather than earlier years. Why? Because in these 2 years, lot has happened in the world. Okay. Lot of the things have changed. So earlier data, whatever the data was earlier, it doesn't matter now, or it matters not that much because the things have changed now. So I will like to either not consider that data, or even if I am considering that data, I will give the less weightage to that. Fine. Yeah. So yeah, here I was giving the equal weightage while I was calculating simple average. But in weighted average, what we do normally, recent past data is given more weightage to forecast in future. Okay. So what we do here, WA is equal to W1 Y1 plus W2 Y2. Here W1, W2, W3, W4 are weights. That how much percentage, how much weightage we are giving to each element. Okay. And always keep in mind that W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4 is equal to 1. Here it is written normally, but in your case, it will always be 1. You will not be asked any questions other than this. Okay. What it means, let's say I'm giving the weightage. Let's say W1 is equal to, okay, let's say W1 is equal to 0 0.1. Okay. W2 is equal to 0 0.2. Okay. 0 0.2. Okay. And W3 is equal to 0 0.3. Then what will be W.4? It will be equal to 3, 4, 5 and 6. It will be 0 0.4. 4. So now if you sum all these, I will get 1. Now what it means that to the latest data, okay, let's say W4 is my latest data that I have collected. I am giving the 40% weightage to my latest data and the 30% weightage to the data before that, 20% to data before then, and then 10% to data before that. Okay. So basically I am giving the more weightage to the recent data. So this is also a one way to calculate that average. We can calculate simple average and we can calculate weighted average. Okay. We have few more methods to calculate this constant value. We will see in further classes. Bye bye.